The National Horse Racing Authority recently announced the appointment of Rakesh G1 Lal as the new Deputy Chief Stipendiary Steward in KZN.
Well, I'm very pleased and overwhelmed by this appointment. I've had many milestone achievements in my life, and this is just another adding to it.
G1 Lal's interest in horse racing goes back to the late 80s.
I've got an architectural background, but racing was my hobby at that time, and I actually used to enjoy both with quite a balance.
In 2000, his own individual colours were approved, and it was then that the thought of making his interest a career took hold.
I realized, why not make racing a career?
In 2007, he became a stipendiary steward in KZN.
I've been here for 10 years. I started off as a junior stipendiary steward on a 3-month probation, then I moved myself up. But I've always learnt, and I've got that ability to progress. And today, after all that, I've been promoted to Deputy Chief Stipendiary Steward, which I'm very grateful for. My racing background is enormous. I'm passionate about it. I'm a great form studier. I know the merit rating. I've studied the breeding of horses and how they match the sire and the dam sires, etc. So I can stand up and speak the whole day about horse racing because it's part of my life. I've made it part of my life. And now to be in this position after 10 years, it's just mind-boggling.
Stipendiary stewards are the judiciary or police, if you will, of the horse racing industry. Their role is essentially to protect the integrity of racing by ensuring that all participants abide by the rules of racing.
Our role is to officiate in race meetings, ensure that the safety, conduct and the integrity of the sport is in good order, attend track work, conduct stable inspections, administrate drug testing operations, including out-of-competition testing, investigation into the use of prohibited substances, assist the starter with starting stall certificates at the various centres, and conducting inquiries into the breach of our rules. We have to be unbiased, our approach have to be unbiased in assisting the issues related to horse racing. We are here to ensure that the well-being of the horse and the integrity of the sport is at the highest level.
Come a race day, what's your role?
Well, we have a full team here on a race day, over and above the stipendiary stewards on duty. There's 4 of us on this board. We have 2 vets on the day that works. We have 2 starters. We have handlers, they're all part-time staff. We have spec collectors, and we have a horse identifier. So it's our duty to ensure that the correct horse is brought to the course and will participate in that race, the correct horse, and to ensure that each horse appears or presents itself on the race course with a passport. Our horse identifier will check that that's a correct horse, and this is done by markings on the horse, and each horse carry a microchip embedded in their neck, which is we scan, and by that form we can identify that the correct horse will participate in that race. At the start, we have the farrier that works for us in the event a horse spreads a shoe on the way to the start. It's repaired and fitted at the start again. So there's a large staff that is needed and required to get a race meeting off in a proper fashion. Stipendiary stewards' roles internationally and here are similar. Our job entails exactly the same issues. I normally read international Stipes reports on the website, and the reporting and the structure of the Stipe reports are exactly or very similar to what we have. I think the National Horse Racing Authority, with our Stipes, we run a very professional race day. It's a professional outfit. We're all professional people, and we ensure that everything is done correctly, and that the punter out there having a bet can ensure that he's getting a good run for his money.
Where to from here for Rakesh?
This is a stepping stone. That's why I say thank you for the opportunity to get this position to the NHA. It's a stepping stone to possibly a chief stipendiary steward job here in this province or possibly in another province. So yes, I intend to be here for a long time and work as hard as I can.
Sunmet winner Whisky Baron, owned by former England cricketer Craig Kieswetter and his younger brother Ross, is set to make his international racecourse debut in the Grade 2 Shadwell Joel Stakes at Newmarket's Rowley Mile this Friday, the 29th of September. The Joel Stakes are named after Solly Joel, a prolific thoroughbred owner and breeder who made his fortune as a mining magnate in South Africa. South Africans have a good track record in the Joel Stakes, with Mike de Kock having won the race with Eagle Mountain in 2008 and Soft Falling Rain in 2013. The race is run over a mile on the Newmarket Straight and is open to horses 3 years and up.
Michelle, I've worked very closely with Mike in this whole operation. At the end of the day, he's laid the foundation. He's been there before. So, I've never been one to think to go and reinvent the wheel. Michael knows exactly what to do, and he's been more than helpful in his advice with me as to where to work at Newmarket. And obviously, we've discussed preparation together. So, it is very much a path that we know works.
Yes.
And it has succeeded for South Africans in the past. So, with long-term goals in mind, I think it's a good starting point.
It's never easy exporting horses from South Africa, especially when dealing with the downtime due to quarantine regulations.
It's very difficult to give them the amount of time off. 3 months in quarantine in Mauritius, they don't get to do a lot. So obviously,
yes,
your horses do let down.
Whisky Baron has not run since winning the Sun Met at the end of January. So how has he adapted to conditions in the UK?
Actually, he's had a great preparation in England. The initial workout, his first workout in approximately 8 months, he obviously needed quite badly. I went back a week later and galloped him twice thereafter, and the improvement, that he made was quite incredible in such a short space of time. The groundwork was laid by Brett, obviously, leading up to those gallops, but I was very, very happy with the amount of improvement he showed from one workout to the next.
When were those gallops, Greg?
Those gallops were toward the middle of August.
Yes.
And, we gave him quite an extensive workout regime for 2 weeks to put a bit of pressure on him because it was time to step him up in preparation for the end of September.
Greg is going over next week to ride his final preparation gallop, and obviously, his comments will be very valid.
Monday's gallop was obviously his most testing assignment up to now in the UK. Unfortunately, he encountered soft ground, which I don't think he was very familiar with, and the undulations of the Rowley Mile are difficult at best. So the best man to assess is Greg, and although he said the gallop wasn't quite up to what he was expecting, there were sort of circumstances that led to that. So I think once he's had a go on, he's seen the track now, tested the underfoot conditions, I think he'll come on leaps and bounds for that gallop too.
It's unlike any other prep he's had before. He's now stepping into a Group 2 against some of the best horses in Europe. So it's a very tough preparation to have. But he's had a great comeback, and it's been hard though. You only get one chance at these type of things. So as much as you need to get them fit, you've got to do it in the right manner, because if you make one mistake, it's not a dress rehearsal. You don't get a second chance.
What does it mean to you to have a runner on the Rowley Mile at Newmarket?
Well, I think if you go back to childhood days, I don't think I ever dreamt that I would be training a horse to run in England, never mind anywhere else. So obviously it's going to be a very proud moment for me.
Yes.
And obviously I've just got to thank everyone who's laid the path for me to get there, and that would mainly be the Kesveda family who've afforded me the opportunity.
He's the most uncomplicated horse I've ever ridden. So, he's a real treat to ride because you know what you're going to get. And if there's something amiss with him, you'll feel it immediately because, he gives you everything all the time and then some. We've seen that. So, it's just going to be fantastic to be back on him, and especially under racing conditions.
He is an exciting horse, and I do feel that we haven't got to the bottom of him. But in saying that, to take on the rest of the world, we will have to find a little bit more.
The journey for all of us to the whole Richmond and Kesveda team and family I can't thank them enough, because it's horses like this that give you opportunities in life, and it's a fantastic one for me and for all of us.
After a very successful champion season, which saw the Brett Crawford yard winning no less than 4 Group 1 races, the decision was recently made by the stable to open a satellite yard here at Summerveld. Gold Circle have allocated 30 boxes to Crawford, who now joins fellow Cape Townians Dean Kannemeyer and Candice Bass-Robinson with satellite yards in the province.
Michelle, I think it's been a long time coming that, my yard in Cape Town has grown to a size where I'm able to support a second yard. Cape Town gets very competitive different times of the year. And obviously, we all know that a lot of the horses in the yard are basically competitive in their own divisions. And some of them are just a pound or two shy in Cape Town. So I always felt there was an avenue to open a yard like that. And obviously, the key to it is in who works with you in those circumstances. And yes. I was very, very fortunate to team up with Peter Muscat this year for our winter season, and we had a fantastic season. And Peter had a few options of what he was going to do, and he basically spoke to me in the middle of August and confirmed that he would love to come back to South Africa. So, he's the ideal man, and he will be taking the helm of the Durban operation.
It's great to be back home. I've had a bit of a taste of it during the winter season. I thoroughly enjoyed being back at Summerveld. Well, basically, Brett has a lot of horses in training, and he's got a lot of young, unraced, sort of slightly later maturing types, and it's pointless to have them all in under one roof and taking yourself on. So if we can spread them around a little bit, it sort of just gives the owners more opportunity as well.
We basically discussed with our clients, and we're putting together a list of the horses that we think would do well in Durban this time of year.
Yes.
And exactly as you said, all going well, on the 1st of October, we will have our horses arriving in Durban. And, we look forward to the venture. It gives horses an alternative on surfaces in terms of the poly being in Durban.
Yes.
So I think it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a venture that's going to work well for us.
Obviously, I'm very familiar with Summerveld, having worked here for years for David Payne. The tracks are great, and sort of in my opinion, it's one of the best training facilities in the world.
Do you think, Peter, with some of his international connections in the East, you might even attract some foreign investment in horses and racing here for yourself and your yard?
Definitely. Peter has definitely got people who are interested, but I think the key will be if we can open our exports, because then that would just change everything, because basically the people could start their horses off and make investments, and if the horse looked like a really nice horse, they would be able to take them out a lot quicker, and the whole rigmarole of months and months of quarantine would be put behind. And I think that's the biggest attraction for investment in South Africa at the moment.
In his 40th year as a trainer, the evergreen Dennis Dreyer dominated the recent Scottsville race meeting with no less than 5 winners. It started in race 1 with the half-brother to Guinness, Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame is full of energy with 100 metres to go, and Sacred Flame, home and hose to win by 3. Turf Conqueror probably going to get up for second. Blue Moon Rising, and Obvious Child gets a mention into the quartets.
Thrilled, really, really happy.
Salamar followed in race 3 under Sean Veal, before 7th Plane, showing a welcomed return to form, won under Anton Marcus.
Salimar over the last 100, running very green to the outside, but in command, Salimar.
A good double tonight.
Yeah, lovely.
7th Plane is looking to come home with Summer Sky in an absolute thriller. Summer Sky, 7th Plane, not going to split them.
Fantastic, couldn't ask for better.
Anton scored again for Dreyer when Lloyd's Legacy carried 62 kgs to victory.
Lloyd's Legacy, though, finds a little bit extra.
Very happy to have a day like this. And again, a big thank you to Derek. Marcus, Ingrid, sure.
Dreyer's fifth victory came in the form of Constantine under apprentice Diego de Gouveia.
Constantine now bounds at She's a Fortress. Constantine from She's a Fortress.
Well, it's number 5 for Dennis Dreyer. Constantine has blown the start again, but come through to win.
Looks like when it's meant for you, it's meant for you. What a day it's been.
With the cream of the Dreyer's yard set to depart for the Cape and their summer season, there's much to look forward to from this Natalian's yard.